back, kids. Thanks for joining us again this week for Kids Worship as we go through the book of Proverbs. If you remember last month and now this month, we've been talking about how God plus knowledge equals wisdom. And our verse for this entire series has come from the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 5 and 6. I want to see if you guys can say it with me today if we don't look it up in our Bible. So let's try it together. Are you ready? Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. And we've been talking about how trust is the foundation of our relationship with God. And that's how we grow in our faith and grow in our wisdom and our knowledge of the Lord. And that is how he makes our paths straight, by knowing him and knowing him well. So today we're going to continue in the book of Proverbs, and specifically we're going to be talking about busyness. Now, I think most of you probably live pretty busy lives. You have school, your parents have work, you have activities, parties with friends, all kinds of things that keep you very, very busy. And none of those things are bad unless they start to take over your life. They can cause us to become very stressed. Life can become very chaotic, and sometimes we're not stopping to slow down enough to really seek God's direction in our life. And so that's what we're going to be learning about today is what does the Proverbs say about seeking the Lord's direction and how that is a benefit to us as we grow in our faith and knowledge and love of him. So today, I'm bringing back Dr. Pirtle to help us with our science experiment.
Hello, Windwood kids. It's Dr. Philip Pirtle here again with another fun lesson, and we're going to have a great opportunity to dive into another proverb today and have a neat experiment to go with it. So, I know you've already got your Bibles, and I just want to restate the proverb we're covering. It's Proverbs 21, verse 5, and it says, "The plans of the diligent lead to profit, as surely as haste leads to poverty." And we live in a world right now that is full of rapid movement. Airports and highways connect cities and states and even countries from all over the world. Also, information races through electrical lines and even fly through the air with satellite. It's a very busy, fast-paced world we live in. You can't even drive a car yet, but I bet your life is busy as well too. You've had ballet, football, basketball, band, or orchestra, and you've got to go to all those places and take care of school as well. We're all busy, and this can lead to stress in our lives. We must make a lot of quick decisions and sometimes have to deal with the consequences because of those decisions that we make. As always, the Bible gives us great advice, just like King Solomon did in that proverb when it came to talking about making hasty decisions. It takes a little extra time to consider the long-term consequences, but if we take that time, we can avoid a lot of problems after the fact. For example, anytime you or your parents are making a major purchase, right? You've got to talk about it. How might that affect the family budget? And realizing that in most cases that better, higher quality items may cost a little bit more than getting something that is below standard or substandard. And it's very true that you get what you pay for in this life. But talking about that ahead of time makes a big difference. You'll notice that in King Solomon's proverb, he is talking about material gain. Now, that's not the biggest major goal in life, but if we can be profitable with our decisions, that allows us to be able to do things like help other people, spread the gospel, and avoid some financial problems in the future. Not all problems or opportunities can be planned for thoroughly. Corona is a great example of that. We can plan ahead on some things and enjoy a calmer life as a result. It just takes a little bit of time. Another great example that some of you may already know is the fire ant. Now, if we observe fire ants naturally, we see them walking in line, We see them building mounds. We see them scavenging for things. When they're doing what God asked them to do and created them to do, they're very orderly. Things are getting done. But what happens when you kick that ant mound? They're scurrying all over the place. They're going crazy. There's not a real game plan, and it's just super hectic, and who knows what's going to happen. I witnessed this firsthand yesterday when I was treating ant piles in my backyard. But that's a great example in life of having a game plan versus being hurried and making rash decisions all the time. Well, we have a neat experiment that'll kind of bring that to light a little bit for you. We're going to have dancing raisins. We will have a glass of soda, clear soda, and we will add raisins to that, and we'll see what happens. The soda is going to have carbon dioxide, which again is the gas in your Cokes that make it fizz and bubble and all that, and that represents the world we live in and what we interact in, and sometimes it can be very unpredictable. The raisins, these represent us and our decisions in the world, right? And so with that, I'm going to bring on my assistant, Melissa Blessinger. You want to come on in?
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
I'm really busy. I still have 3 meetings after this.
You do?
Yeah, and my kids have soccer and ballet tonight, and I'm pretty sure I have 100 emails in my inbox right now.
I bet you do.
But I'm here, and I brought all the stuff that you the stuff you asked me for.
Right.
So here it is, and I definitely want to be here and do this experiment with you. Let me.
Okay.
Okay. So here's your raisins.
Okay. All right.
And I dropped another one. Okay. So here's your raisins, and I couldn't remember if you said vinegar.
Not vinegar.
Okay, so
that
I also brought...
That was when we blow our top off. We're going to need the clear soda. That's
Okay.
what we need, right?
Okay, well, I got that.
Okay.
I got the right thing. Okay. Now what do I do?
Okay, well, let me move the Bible. We're going to add some clear soda to the cup.
Oh, I forgot my phone. I don't know what time it is. I'm afraid I'm running late. Okay, here we go.
There we go.
Okay. Okay.
Wow.
Sorry.
Oh, gosh, well, that's enough.
Okay,
That's enough.
Okay.
And then we're going to add some raisins to it, I guess.
Like, how many? How many raisins do we
you
need?
don't need very many. Don't need, well, we're losing the raisins too.
Feeling a little, I don't know, overly busy today. I just, makes me feel very chaotic. I'm just not sure. Okay.
We're making a little.
Okay, let me.
Okay. I tell you what, Melissa, why don't we start over?
Okay.
And why don't we do it with a little more patience? Right?
Okay.
And let's think through this
Okay.
and not act so hastily, right? And just take a deep breath, and we'll take it step by step and do it just the way we're supposed to.
Okay.
Okay?
I think I can do this. I can do it correctly. I know I can.
I know you can.
Okay.
Okay, kids, we're going to go and take another shot at this experiment, and I'm going to bring in Melissa Blessinger. Come on in.
Thank you for having me. I believe I brought the correct ingredients for the science experiment.
It looks like you did.
Yes, we have our clear soda and a few raisins.
That's correct. And again, the soda represents the life that we live in and the unpredictability about it. This has carbon dioxide gas in it, which provides all the bubbles and the fizz in your Coke. And we have some raisins, which represent us and some of the decisions that we make. And we're gonna find out what happens when we combine the two. So Melissa, if you can take some of the clear soda and fill it up to about here in the glass.
Making sure it doesn't overflow.
That is perfect. Looks like you really had a game plan with this, Melissa.
I did. I'm trying very hard to take my time, think it through, and listen to the instructions you've given me.
Perfect.
Is that enough?
That's perfect.
Okay.
And then we will take the raisins, and if you will add the raisins.
All right. All right. Are we ready?
We're ready.
3, 2, 1.
You can see that the bubbles are attaching to the raisins, and making them float to the top, and then they pop at the top, and then the raisins sink back down. They're going all over the place. Does this seem like your schedule sometime?
Yes.
Does this seem like the world you live in sometimes?
Yes.
You're running around, not making any real progress towards what you need to do. Well, this is kind of an illustration of not having a game plan and making hasty decisions. Well, how could we prevent making some of those hasty decisions? Well, first and foremost, you can ask God for direction through prayer. That always works. Number two, you can seek advice or counsel from others, especially your parents. You can also help your parents with errands and chores and things like that, especially with what's going on right now to help everybody out. That would be a great decision. And also you can take that adequate time for reflection before you make any of those major decisions.
That seems like a hard one for me.
It is hard for everybody, trust me, especially in the world that we live in. Well, just like life, we're making decisions all the time that are full of twists and turns all the time. Sometimes we can't see them, sometimes we can't plan for them, but for most decisions that we make, if we think a little bit ahead of time, we can make some good decisions. And remember, the plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as the haste leads to poverty.
And that is important if we're going to seek God's direction and not our own. Well, kids, I hope you enjoyed our lesson today on Proverbs. As we're wrapping up this series and this study of Proverbs, I hope you've come to understand that first and foremost, we can trust God with our lives. We can trust that He is with us always and that He will make our paths straight. And today, I hope you saw how if we don't make room for God in our lives and we let ourselves be too busy, life can become chaotic and it can become difficult to seek His direction and His plans and His will for your life. So this week, no matter what you're doing, no matter what decisions you're facing, I hope that you will seek God through prayer and reading your Bible, talking to your parents about what is the wise thing to do. What would God have me to do with this decision? And don't forget, continue to check out our virtual kids ministry page at winwoodpc.org for more devotions, activities, and our Narnia storybook readings. Have a wonderful Holy Week, and we'll see you next Sunday.